Okay, welcome back to Clout 941. We're back our final segment with State Senate candidate Morgan Bentley. Okay, Morgan, now you recently ran a tough ad of your own. You've been hit with a few already, several. And it talked about Nancy Dietert had sponsored a bill in the legislature to allow fourth-time offenders of DUIs to get their licenses, driver's licenses back if they, there's a 5-year waiting period, they stay out of trouble, et cetera, et cetera. And you've been critical of that. That's not something you would be in favor of?
No. I mean, the position, for instance, the people that are in this field, what they do is they say, you got to have the breath lock, you got to have supervision, all that. That bill was simply, you can have up to 4 DUIs and a DUI manslaughter, and or a DUI manslaughter, and get your license back. And it's just a bad bill. I mean, it was the kind of thing that should have never come out of the pen, much less gotten to committee, much less gotten a bill number. And you know, it's the kind of thing, it's tough because it's a tough situation, but you know, certainly the other side isn't going to raise issues about judgment, and so the candidate has to do it. But I thought the ad, you know, the woman in the ad is unbelievable. I mean, she came to us and said, you know, I don't really want to be political, but I want to tell my story. And I never met her. I didn't even know her name until the ad came out. And once I saw it, I was, you know, it's moving. It's a moving testimony by her.
Another thing that has been pretty controversial back and forth is the issue of baseball and spring training here in Sarasota. And I think this county is pretty equally divided, as well as the city, over whether this is a good thing, whether we should be spending taxpayer dollars on this. Nancy Dietert's kind of been out in the forefront, along with Doug Holder, in favor of using some state funds in order to help lure teams to the Sarasota area.
Right.
How do you feel in general about, I know the Red Sox deal is dead, but how do you feel about using local tax dollars or state tax dollars to lure a major league team?
Well, you know, it's funny. I mean, we all talk about Democrat and Republican and everything, but I'm probably as close to a small government guy as you're going to find. And I just don't think government has a role in giving money to private enterprises. Even economic subsidies are to things like, well, look at Arthur Anderson Boulevard out here. We have an Arthur Anderson Boulevard, but no Arthur Anderson. That was $1.5 million of tax credits down the drain. Now, no one saw Enron coming, but still, to subsidize somebody, it either means they don't want to come here in the first place, or they can't make money here, and so you either get to keep subsidizing them, or they won't come here. And that's just, I think that the money is better spent elsewhere if that's your goal. Or even better, spend it on things that we need it on, like education, like, you know, cleaning up the stormwater system over in the Bay. Those kinds of things are much higher on my priority list than giving the Boston Red Sox money.
They need the money, Morgan.
Yeah, they do. ExxonMobil and the Boston Red Sox need all the money we can give them. There's another story for you. Like, you know, ExxonMobil's another example. They do get some subsidies from the federal government still for exploration and other things. And to me, I would say, be a patriot. You don't need the money. If I was the president of ExxonMobil, I would say, look, you know, country first, there you go. Here's the money back. You know, we don't need it anymore. We're making plenty, we're fine, thank you very much. Spend it on some kids or some elderly folks' prescriptions. I just think there's priorities, and I think we need to be intellectually honest about what we're spending the money on, and be a little bit more transparent about it too, other than kind of hidden fees and stuff like that.
You know, the Herald Tribune got $750,000 from the city of Sarasota to build their palatial new building downtown. That was awfully nice of the city commission to give them that money. But now with all the layoffs, they have 15,000 square feet of office space they need to rent out, and they have to get permission from the city commission to rent it out. So be careful when you partner into these deals with local governments, because you might not like your partner.
Government shouldn't be in the position of micromanaging businesses. That's not what they do.
Right.
There are governmental issues and there are private enterprise issues, and very rarely should the two intermingle. It's usually a bad thing when it does.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, now something else I've read about in the paper has been there was some ballots down south that went out without your race on it. I hope that wasn't a strong precinct for you.
Whoops. Did that happen? Yeah, well, I guess we'll never know, really. I assume they were all going to vote for me.
Have you gotten an answer?
If I lose, they all voted for me.
What do about that?
Well, yeah, we did get an answer, and it looks like it's going to be fine. The one unsettling thing is I'm glad it got a little publicity, because had it not been for a person calling the paper and saying, what's up with this ballot, we would have never known it happened. And so that raises questions about all the other precincts. Well, are there others that have this problem? And fortunately, with the publicity, if there had been a problem, someone I'm sure would have called by now. So it gives us actually some comfort that it was only one precinct that was affected, and hopefully those folks will vote for me.
Only 69 votes, hopefully. So
one of those could be the one that wins this election, though. So you guys go out and vote again.
What are you going to do tomorrow?
I'm starting in Punta Gorda at 7 a.m. and then I'm working my way north through Charlotte County, probably hit Sarasota County midday, and then work my way up to all the way to North County by 6 or 7 o'clock.
Hitting the polling places, you mean?
Right, and then shaking hands.
Where's
with
the
each
victory
one,
party?
Marina Jacks.
All right.
And we've got limos for those who are too happy. We'll even get you home safe and sound.
You don't want to get a 4th DUI. You lose a license for the rest of your life.
There you go. We like to be safe, yes.
Tell us how they can get in contact with you, how last minute they can email you or whatever. What's your contact?
Actually, the best way from now on is my cell phone. 302-4214 is the number. That number again, 302-4214. And if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to call me. I've got it all the time. If I'm on the phone, I'll call you right back, and we'll be ready to go. If you're going to vote for me or against me, at least I want to be for the right reasons. So,
Morgan, thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
Let's go to do the Weasel of the Week now.
Goes the pop, goes the wine, and then the Weasel. I see the empty pocket needs a refill. I got a squad with a...
This week's Weasel of the Week is Jackie Clark. Jackie Clark showed up at a metal recycling plant center this week and had 70 flower vases with him, bronze and copper flower vases. And when the people there kind of inquired, this is a little odd, somebody showing up with 70 flower vases to turn them in for recycled metal. Turned out Jackie had taken them off the graves from a local cemetery. It also turns out that Jackie looks like he's a homeless person. And Jackie, you're our Weasel of the Week, and we would suggest to you, when you get out of jail, do not sleep in that particular cemetery, especially since it's Halloween. That's our show. Next week, the chair of the Democratic Party of Sarasota, Rita Ferrandino, will be on our show, and we'll look at how her candidates, including Morgan Bentley, did. Next week on Clout 941.
You ready? Let's go!